No more hassles with multiple appointments to fit your crowns, and they beautifully blend your dental crown with your teeth. Dr. Jeff uses the newest technology available to provide you with quick and accurate same-day crowns so you don't have to spend any more time in dentist chairs than you need to. Same-day crowns will help you achieve a fuller, healthier smile. Find out more at FargoDentalCare.com, FargoDentalCare.com, or call for a consult today, 298-9400.
Branding is more than just a logo. It's the heart of your business. Perhaps your business needs a refresh. Let Urban Toad Media create a new look for you. Strong brand recognition helps you stand out from the crowd. We offer design services that include logo design and print materials that carry your branding throughout all avenues. Business cards, brochures, flyers, and more. Whether you need a new logo or a simple refresh, Urban Toad Media would love to work with you. Visit our website at urbantoadmedia.com.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this finally Friday. It's 106 right now, and it's shaping up to be pretty nice outside. Last I saw, temps were in the mid-70s. A bit windy, though. Gusts over 30 miles an hour to the south. It is a blustery day. And we got to check on that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm with Ag Director Bridgette Readel, as well as Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And guys, welcome to a finally Friday. How's it going?
Good.
Good.
No adulting until 1:17 today.
There we go.
We're gonna have
Bridgette,
fun.
how are you?
I'm good, but have we met? You look new here.
Yeah, a little new. Actually, I just started today.
Yeah, shave off your beard, and the whole audience says, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah, who's
new
that
phone.
man?
So does his little one.
Yeah, he didn't recognize me.
Right?
I got a
there
question
could have been
for
some
you,
crying.
Bridgette.
Sure.
What would you rather eat, a beetle or a matter baby?
What's the matter, baby?
Oh, not much sugar. What's the matter with you?
Got him!
Your dad joke game is stepping up. Nice.
Boy, she fell for it.
That was awesome.
What's a matter baby? Oh, not much sugar.
Sinker.
I am so glad to see that this day is going to go fine.
It's gonna go just dandy. Hey, phone numbers to the program today: 701-293-9000 is
Top
the
that
Red Wing
joke.
Shoes phone line. If you can top that one,
I would, but
call us in.
I would, but we can't do that on air. So we'll do that one later.
I think we got our dump button working again. It's flashing at me. It just says smash. So I think we're good to go. Email inboxes are weather or ag at flagfamily.com. You can also drop comments on our Facebook or YouTube live stream, which is where we live stream each and every single day. We also stream over there on Acres TV.
We just released a new Here We Grow video this morning.
Yes, we did. Should we play a little preview for what this episode is?
If you could.
I mean, can I?
Just press the button.
God dang it. I think we got hail damage here. I need to speak with Bethany from Irie Insurance, see what we can do about this. I need an expert.
Oh. Wait, what am I doing here? Oh, hi, Justin.
I didn't think that was gonna work. Hey, we got hail damage here. I think I'm gonna need some money.
No, Justin, this is bug damage.
How can you tell?
Well, because a bug eats around the veins where a hailstone, that doesn't care, it just goes right through.
So no money?
No money.
We try again next week?
Sure.
Okay.
There we go. That's episode 17 with Irie Insurance talking all about how insurance can affect your farm and all your property as well. It was a fun episode. I had fun last week shooting that one.
It was a good time,
2 weeks
except
ago
I
now?
realized something, and I didn't notice it until I watched the video.
What's
I had
that?
my Fisher Price toy barn in the field with us,
Yeah.
and that one. When I opened up the door to show my cows and so forth in the barn, I think my pig fell out, and I don't think I noticed it until I saw the video. So I think my pig is lost in our soybean field.
Oh, no.
Well, you better find it before harvest, or you might not get it back.
You better go out there.
I have a feeling it's going to be a little tough to find him. So we'll see what we can do. But if anybody has a spare little plastic black pig that goes with your Fisher Price barn set. Mine is now missing.
Oh, no. What a shame.
Now we know what to get her for Christmas.
Yeah. You know how expensive
There
that
you
thing
go.
is?
That's probably, yeah, I know.
We work in radio.
And I know I'm not worth it, so that's all right.
Well,
She's
I
definitely
don't know if
worth
I'd
it.
go that far.
I'd take a second mortgage out on the house.
I would consider that as well.
All right, so we'll get it for her.
All right, we'll see what we can get there.
It's a
So
spendy
it's
thing.
but it's a beautiful day if I was going to the field to go look for my pig.
Yeah,
Hopefully it stays that
If
way.
it hasn't blown away.
Yeah, if it hasn't blown away. Why don't we quickly take a look at that forecast? Because I'm sure everyone's wondering what's up with the wind. How long's the wind sticking around, and how hot is it going to be?
Yeah, we've got winds right now gusting close to 40 miles an hour across the area, so kind of hang on to your hat afternoon. Currently, temperatures in the upper 70s, and we should make it into the mid-80s, about 86 or so, right around there, with those winds out of the south-southeast gusting close to 40 as we head into the afternoon. Winds will relax a little bit, but still breezy tonight under partly cloudy skies. A little bit warmer, mid to upper 60s with a south wind at 10 to 15. And for the start of your weekend, the weekend's going to be split. The hot day is Saturday, the cool day is Sunday. Saturday, low 90s, and winds will switch to the northwest later in the afternoon. And they're not going to be as strong as today either. And then Sunday, more clouds around, north winds.
Where's my rain, Dean?
And there might be some coming in later Sunday and into Monday morning. A few scattered showers, nothing widespread. 73, a good 20 degrees cooler on Sunday compared to Saturday.
Ooh.
And then we'll stay in the 70s Monday before warming up into the 90s by the middle of next week. Justin and I have a bet. He does not think it will make it into the 90s next week. I do. We haven't decided what we're betting.
What do you want to bet? You think we're getting in the low 90s?
We'll get in the 90s.
I think we're stuck in the 80s.
Nope. We'll be in the 90s next week.
What
Look at this. We're split here in the
What
weather
day?
department.
Wednesday.
Are we talking like Tuesday, Wednesday? Okay, let me just think about where I'm going to be at, and I can determine if it's
Yeah,
going to
where
storm
are you
or
going
not
to
that
be?
day. That's where all of the chaos will continue to follow. That's probably the biggest problem right there.
I think we need to have a more sizable bet than just these little 6-packs. How's a 24? How's a suitcase sound? Is that too rich for your blood?
Suddenly, Dean's mic is off.
No, he's just not talking.
It depends what suitcase of what.
Suitcase of beer.
Yeah, what kind of beer?
I don't know. Most beer's $1 a can.
Where are you shopping? Well, yeah, for a case. Yeah.
I don't buy the $9 craft beers. I drink my Grain Belt, my McGolden.
All right, so a case of beer,
Miller.
a case of beer, and
Case or suitcase?
A case of beer.
Okay, 12-pack.
No, a case of beer is 24.
That's a
No.
suitcase.
Huh?
Right.
A case of beer is a 12-pack.
A case of
suitcase
beer is 24.
A case of beer is 24. Thank you.
No, a case of beer is 12.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's not. A case of beer is 24.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah. Where's a suit? What's that? I've never heard of a suitcase. Is that a case of 16
I
ounces?
have.
No, it's a suitcase. Well, I guess you could say that. It's a suitcase.
Oh.
You know,
A suitcase is the
long
same as a
and
case.
Rectangular.
I'll give you. All right, we'll go 24-pack, and I get a big old handle of Bacardi.
And for
They're
those
both
who
about the
want to
same.
vote on
Okay.
whether or not, for those who want to vote on what's a suitcase versus a case, etc., you feel free to jump on our Facebook page, Weather and Ag and Focus. Drop all your messages. I'll watch those from here
I grew up.
and
I
see
mean,
what people are saying.
when we were 17 and we were parked outside of the 7-Eleven, we always asked for a case of beer and gave the guy enough money.
Oh,
Never said a suitcase.
so far, Justin is getting extra points for voting for Grain Belt. I also have 30 is in a suitcase, so that's completely different.
Yep.
But okay, because that's
a
not a
square.
case.
That's a bush
That's-
box. That's a square.
No, that's a 30 rack, but it could
well,
be called
yeah,
a
30
suitcase.
rack.
Yeah.
I just think of the 16-ounce pounders. It's a pounder wide and 5 deep, so it looks like a suitcase. You hold it in the middle.
Hey, you know what though? None of this matters if there's no barley for no beer, which thankfully we're in barley harvest and it's going
That's
well. So keep
true.
up the weather, boys.
Yes.
There
We
you
want
go.
we want
That's
the
gonna
drier.
matter.
And dry.
We want the drier weather. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got
We
some,
want to see that barley come off in good quality.
Sure do. Same with the grain.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wants to call in, let us know how the harvest is going so far. 701-293-9000. You want to jump in on the whole suitcase battle, feel free to do that. Same phone number.
I saw Parker was he had a nice little Facebook post on how, well, now it's sugar beets. They're getting those already, and he's got other work to do. So Parker's being inundated with work out there.
We had an emailer send an email in. He's like, if a suitcase is 24, what's a duffel bag?
Yeah.
That's a small keg. So
That's a 4-gallon keg.
So back to sugar beets with Parker, get your Red Wing boots on, guys, because thankfully, as one of our Here We Grow sponsors, we have them, and maybe that'd be a good day for you guys to go out to the field and ride with Parker in one of the sugar beet trucks during harvest this year.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be cool. Yeah. Well, and he said he's always looking for workers too. A little side hustle. And
he is.
Yes.
Oh, time. I have another text message here from a listener. Canadians call a 12-pack a suitcase. So, Justin,
a 12-pack
how far
is
north?
A suitcase?
This is only if you're Canadian.
My whole life has been a lie.
No, your whole life has been Canadian.
So far,
What's worse? I'm kidding. Oh man, I'm kidding.
I also have a whole list of of beer math right now. 30 in a suitcase, 12 is a 12-pack, 24 is a case. Just breaking it all down for you.
My brain right now.
Should I write this down for you?
It's a combination between that and this one.
Shutting down, baby. Shutting down.
Dunk. Critical error.
Oh, it is Friday. We have a guest coming on. Are you sure she's going to want to after this?
She might. Who knows?
Thank God well, first of all, she's Canadian, so she can clear part of this up. But
so
more
she just
importantly,
heard me say that and left. I ain't doing this. This guy's a jerk.
and additionally, she's very level-headed. So we're going to visit with Elaine Froese. She is a farm transition specialist. She comes to us, again, just as I mentioned, from Canada. She's done tremendous amount of work up there. I like to think of her a little bit as the Canadian farm whisperer. And so for those who have questions, you're able to call us on our Red Wing Shoes phone line at 701-293-9000. We're going to see if we can test her a little bit with some questions about what to do in various situations when it comes to farm transition, or maybe you're trying to change out of a current farm operation, and how could that look? So we'll see, you guys. There might be a lot of good questions that come out of this for all of us.
I'm thinking
Never
so.
know.
Excellent.
So why don't we?
Wonderful. So we will catch up with her.
Yeah, we will do that next, and also a couple other things coming up on the program today after our guests. We'll talk a little bit about supporting beef to school programs, diesel technician programs open for college students, and I think that's HS students, and soybean mini grant for teachers. So we got a few things involving schools that are going on that we'll touch in the last segment of our show as well. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back with our guest.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Fall registration is now open at Olivet Lutheran Church. Register your kids for Sunday school, Wednesday school, and confirmation. And adults, we have something for you too. Join our choir, Handbell Choir, numerous Bible studies, including a women's-specific Bible study, our food pantry group, be a youth group leader or teacher, and more. Sunday school will begin on September 17th, and Wednesday school and confirmation will begin on September 20th. For more information and to get registered, go to olivet.org. Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church.
It's summer in a big way. So go big at Mall of America. Your summer adventure is on with a stay at Radisson Blu Mall of America, conveniently connected to the mall. Swim a little, spa a little, shop up to 500 stores, enjoy every kind of dining, and so much more. Nickelodeon Universe has live Paw Patrol shows. Then get creative with the youngest ones at Crayola Experience. So you can go big just by going to Mall of America. mallofamerica.com/summer.
It's Jay and Ronnie from the Coffee Club, and we enjoy drinking coffee because it keeps us energized and focused.
Well, let's be frank. I enjoy drinking coffee because coffee keeps me wide-eyed in the morning, but I'll tell you this type of coffee is organic, specialty-grade coffee, beans selected from the top 2% available, 100% Arabica bean coffee, certified organic, non-GMO, low acidity, rich, smooth, and ready to drink.
The finish is clean and it has a pleasant aftertaste. It's delicious. It's so far the best coffee that we've had. It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. All you need to do is go to mystore.com, click on My Coffee, and enter the promo code WDAY.
That's promo code WDAY to get your own My Coffee.
It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. Go to mystore.com, promo code WDAY.
Gah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hello, Fargo. This is John Adams, your host of Talk of the Town. My show is designed to highlight everything great about the city, the valley, and the country in which we live. I've had the great fortune of meeting, working, and living with wonderful people in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and I want to bring their stories to you. Human interest stories, sports, timely topics that affect all of us in the Red River Valley. Talk of the Town with John Adams. Tune in for positivity and fun.
I can't even keep it together whenever I hear that stupid goat.
Well, you say stupid, but you say stupid, but the goat was upset to scream like that.
Do they actually? I've never heard an actual goat scream it. That's truly what they sound like, though? That's
well, I'm not telling you until I deliver the goat to your house.
Yeah, right. Oh, the neighbors will love that one. What's Dean screaming about next door?
You're gonna get some cops knocking at your door. They heard some lady screaming upstairs.
No, that's
There's
just
no one here. Can we come in and look, sir?
That's just my goat.
It's just my goat.
Goodness.
It's Friday.
Gonna be a long
welcome to a
Friday.
free-for-all Friday. Thanks for rejoining us. Let's see, it's 1:24 right now. Getting a little few moments here. We'll get our guests connected, having a little connectivity issues. So we're going to hit a couple ag topics here while we wait in the interim. And why don't we start off with number one? And this is Kingsbury County, South Dakota, supporting beef to school programs. Bridgette, what can you tell me about this?
They are indeed. So Kingsbury County Cattlemen's Association decided to make it a goal to provide beef into schools, particularly because, of course, May is beef month, but they want to continue that. And so they worked with the 4 school districts that are in their county. That would include places like De Smet, like Preston, Arlington. And what they have done is they purchased locally raised beef. They made sure that there was a certified processing facility for it and that there was enough storage capacity at the schools. And then they took that beef to those students. They also partnered with the local FFA chapter in those communities so that the FFA members would go to elementary school students and explain beef production, what goes on to bring that nutritious food to their table in the lunchroom, all those types of things. So this worked out very, very well. It's a multi-step process, but yet they were really able to come together to get this provided for their students, and really gives kids the chance to know where their food comes from, the importance of beef production to the economy, and then, of course, what a proud feather in the hat for those cattle producers who took the time to make sure that they donated beef to the program. And I really want to give a shout out to the fact that as a beef producer, you gave up part of your income to do that. Now, someone can argue, manipulate it on your profit and loss, your taxes, as deductions, whatever. But that's still a chunk of your income that you went ahead to donate to make sure that your local school was being well fed. Not everybody can say that they do that. And hats off to communities like this with Kingsbury County who wanted to make sure that it happened locally for them. Thought that was great.
Super cool. And have you heard anything about some of the programs locally around here? Because I thought they were trying to do a couple south of Fargo, down in the Southern Valley. Was it Allendale was trying to do something like this, or...
There's been a couple of places. So if we start in Minnesota, in our listening area, we have Dilworth, Glendon, Felton. That school has been bringing in local processed beef as well. In fact, one of my college fraternity sisters, it has been her farm that's helped supply some of that beef. And they're also getting garden produce and other things in from the honey, et cetera, that can be produced locally. Then as you get into some of the North Dakota school systems, a lot of that has truly happened as well west river, where we've seen that happen to the southwest of Bismarck. So more and more cattlemen's associations are indeed working with their school systems to make sure that happens. But it's also, we see it with large vegetable production, that they can try to bring some of that in. I'm sure there is a certification process for all of these things to be done. We know for sure it has to happen with meat, but I think that's a great source for them to help be provided for. When we saw a local milk carrier no longer supply schools in the area during the pandemic because they had a labor issue, we had a lot of schools that all of a sudden your school cooks had to travel 70 miles to go get dairy supplies for your school. And if things can be brought in locally, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's super cool. And Dean, why don't we hit another check on that forecast real quick for those that missed it at the top of the hour? We'll get an extra weather hit in here for you. So what's the rest of the day, this upcoming weekend looking like?
Windy. We still have wind gusts approaching 40 miles an hour out of the south, and that will continue on the gusty side throughout the afternoon hours. Highs today in the mid-80s. We're in the upper 70s to near 80 right now. About 86 for your high, with those, again, winds out of the south-southeast gusting close to 40. Then as we head into tonight, not as cool. Last few nights have been pretty pleasant. Humidity levels will start to increase as well. Low around the mid to some spots upper 60s, but generally mid 60s. South winds about 10 to 15. And for your Saturday, that's the hottest day of the weekend and probably your pick day of the weekend as well. It'll feel summer-like. Low 90s with winds out of the southwest switching to the northwest in the afternoon. Only about 10 to 20. And then north winds, clouds on Sunday, a little cooler, about 20 degrees cooler. Highs in the low 70s. Maybe an isolated shower or a thunder shower as we head into Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. That'll last into Monday. 70s continue Monday, and then 80s. And we got a case of beer and a big old bottle of Bacardi on the line for next week, because I say we'll hit the 90s.
I think we're stuck in the 80s.
Justin says we will not. So...
we don't usually split on forecasts very often.
We're usually both in agreement. This one, I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
We will hit the 90s next week.
Here we'll see what end up happening.
Well, considering I generally just bet caramel rolls and so forth, I'm not getting in on this one. So I'll let this to you two.
I can't wait. This is going to be great.
Caramel rolls sound good, too.
We can make a side bet.
So, yeah, but then she's got to make us the caramel rolls.
I still have to supply this.
Yeah. What does she get out of this?
Well, we'll make a side bet with her, and she'll bet caramel rolls.
Okay.
We will gamble over absolutely anything amongst this group. That much I know.
Anything.
We will.
Yes.
Well, we're at bottom of the hour, so we're going to take a quick moment, try and get reconnected with our guest here. And when we come back, we'll either try to get connected with Elaine, either that, or we got more ag topics, and we got some more fun things planned on the show. Of course, if you want to join and get in on our conversation, we were trying to figure out what the difference between a case, a suitcase, a duffel bag, and what else did we throw in there between the amount of cans of beer in a case or a suitcase. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Or if you
Pony keg. They make pony kegs
Pony
anymore?
kegs. Those are the little ones, right?
No,
or are those
that was
the 2-gallon ones?
That was a party ball, Dean.
No, they used to make pony kegs.
Disco
it was
ball.
It was a quart. Now, I know what those are. They stopped making those. Coors Light was big on that, but they used to have what's called a pony keg. It was like a quarter keg.
Pony keg.
You've never heard of a pony?
Yeah, those are the thin, tall ones, right?
You're from Illinois.
They make like a big old keg.
They were the short squat. It was the same circumference. It's a short squatty one. It was like it was a quarter of a keg. They called it a pony keg.
Oh my God. I'm a pony keg. All right, this is the perfect time to go to break.
You're a pony keg.
Okay.
Short and squat. Short and squat. Okay, we'll be back.
Job? How would you like to start and grow with a company that is family-oriented and offers great pay and benefits and room to grow your career? Plains Grain and Agronomy has immediate positions available for a precision ag service technician, general laborer, custom applicator, and a Class A truck driver at their locations in Enderlin, Marion, and Mott, North Dakota. Plains Grain and Agronomy looks forward to visiting with you. Apply online at plainsgrain.com. Ripley's in Earhart has a great job opportunity for you. Ripley's is now hiring directional drill operators, backhoe operators, and plow operators. Your career opportunity is waiting in the utility construction, directional boring, fiber optic splicing, and fiber to the home industry. Apply online at ripleys-inc.com or call Ripley's for an immediate interview. 218-842-5322.
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. Right now, you can save nearly $8,000 on a new Chevy Silverado 1500. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. Tradition, values, and family ties.
See dealer for details.
Reduce your reliance on the grid and save money at the same time. Hi, I'm Ben, owner of Holson Home Automation and Solar. Solar works in our area and is more affordable than ever. With incentives like the 30% federal tax credit, net metering, and low-interest financing, you can take back control of your energy costs. Give me a call at 218-78-SOLAR or visit us at holsonhome.com to schedule your free solar consultation. Locally owned Holson Home Automation and Solar. Illuminating lives, energizing communities.
Hi, this is Kennedy Coulter, and DJ Coulter with American Family Insurance is my dad. As I get older, I realize how important my dad's job really is. All those times he had to take a work call when we were at the lake or in the gym, he really cares. He always puts his family first, but his clients are second. As his biggest and most difficult client, I can tell you for a fact he can handle any situation. Go to djcoulter.com and find out for yourself. That's djcoulter.com.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware, if you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to WDAY, Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director, along with, well, what looks like two monkeys in a barrel, and that would be our meteorology staff.
You know, our brains
Wysocki.
are going like monkeys.
You got a lot of new sounders recently. Congratulations, Justin Storm. Very nice work over there.
They just fit in so perfect.
Well, for those of you who are listening, we also want to make sure to say a thank you to Gowan Company. They have been a sponsor for Here We Grow, our custom farmed 20 acres of soybeans. They have provided us with fungicide, but also if you are looking for weed control options, even those that you can start this fall, planning ahead for the 2024 growing season, because yes, as the crop is coming off, we are talking about next year already. Please make sure to check in with Gowan Company. You never know when Badge or Sonalan or one of those products might be the right fit for you. So guys, as we wait for Elaine, hopefully we get her connected.
I got a strong feeling that this is what happens with radio sometimes when you book guests across the country and sometimes in different countries, is you get different time zones. So I think someone's going to be calling the Jay Thomas show later on today.
And that just means that I get the chance to rebook Elaine for a different day.
Indeed, yes,
never
you
know.
do.
Absolutely. Okay, so does that mean y'all want to hit something different that we didn't get to talk about earlier this week when it comes to ag?
Sure. Yeah, do we want to hit an ag topic? Or I know you said you had a little trivia as well.
Oh, I always have a little bit of trivia.
And before we get to the trivia, sorry, Bridgette,
Yeah.
I just want to I want to ask out there for those doing sugar beets and pre-pile right now, how are the sugar beets looking? If you want to give us a call, 701-293-9000. Are they at where they should be? A little better than expected, or has the lack of rain kind of been hindering the sugar beets a little bit?
And Bridgette, for those that don't know, what does pre-piling sugar beets mean? Are they taking them out? What does it mean?
So pre-pile for sugar beets is kind of the start of the sugar beet campaign for fall harvest. We do that here in August to bring beets out of the field. Farmers are allowed to bring a certain percentage of their field in. So maybe it's at 10% of your total acres gets harvested. Bring them into the factories. It's also a great startup time for factories because they get a chance to run equipment that's been sitting idle for a few months, get to make sure that everything's working properly, et cetera, before we go to full harvest campaign. But also it's a way to estimate your yield and tons. So if you're bringing in beets right now, like Mindak was estimating their tonnage right now is about 14 ton, and we know that beets are going to grow in size until we actually get to harvest. So that number will certainly go up. American Crystal is also estimating their tonnage. They're actually estimating that by the time they get to harvest, they're going to look at somewhere around a 28 ton per acre crop. Wow. So the other thing that'll change will be their sugar content, because we're still at the point where that beet is producing sugar and making itself sweeter. So we have a lot to do yet before we get to full harvest, but this is just the start of what we're doing. And it's also a good time for farmers to check equipment.
Right. And is 28 tons an acre from the Crystal Sugar projection, is that about normal, or where does that sit in average for our area, or maybe in past years?
So it feels more normal because I remember being in college and hearing 18 to 20 ton beets and going, well, that seems like a fair amount. And soon everybody was looking at 25. We've had some really big years of well over 30 ton beets. So 28 is probably falling in a pretty good spot right now. And I have no doubt that Parker and some of our other sugar beet farming friends are listening, and they are fast and furiously typing us responses as to whether or not they think that's a good quality or not for a yield. But also your sugar content matters, right? You can have plenty of tons, but if you don't have the sugar content, what's the point of raising the sugar beet, right? You want to have more sugar, less mass.
And they
type
throw
of thing.
more of that sugar on late in the year. I'm assuming, especially when it starts getting cold at night, like apples. You wanna pick them the morning after, like a light early frost or something like that, because it pushes all the sugar into the fruit.
Now, also remember that when you get too warm, like afternoons such as today may be, or if you get too cold, you're also not going to be lifting sugar beets, because when you have that big giant topper come across, it looks like a lawnmower. And I keep talking with my hands like everybody can see me doing these
Everyone
actions.
can who's watching the live stream.
But that big lawnmower literally comes across, takes the green foliage off the top of those beets, and then you have the lifter come by, and it has like two little rubber wheels that pop the beet out of the ground and puts it up through the lifter that then moves it onto the truck. That's its harvester. And always remember, I was taught this very early on when I moved to the Red River Valley. We lift beets, but we dig potatoes. There's a difference.
Nice. I didn't know there was a difference. I just figured it was the same thing.
Interesting.
But I'm just
Farmers will tell you
I'm
that.
just a little small city kid, I guess.
You are.
Yeah.
But you're
Small
a gardener
town.
now, and you're
And
a
I'm
big
a
gardener.
farmer.
What if you want to save your seeds, Justin? What are some things you might want to do from your garden going into next year?
If I was saving seeds,
Uh-huh.
like my
I have
process
some
on
tips for you.
saving them. Oh, you got tips for me?
Yes, I do. But which plants do you think you might want to save? What's really looks good in your garden this year that you want to raise again, just like that next year?
Oh, I love my beans, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go with my cherry tomatoes. And I had something really bad happen with my cherry tomatoes. I was out in the garden last night, and I was looking down. I'm like, what is going on? These things have grown to the point now where they have grown so tall that they are collapsing on themselves just due to the weight. And I think they're at about, if you grab the side branches that are going off from the top that collapse and you pull it straight up, they're over 7 feet tall now. And they are still
That's a lot of
growing.
foliage.
And they fell over in such a direction that they actually landed on 3 stalks of my corn and snapped them right in half because of the weight that was leaning on them. So I'm going to have to either get bigger cages for next year or prune them a little earlier in the year so they don't grow almost 8 feet tall.
How about both those things, and then you increase your row spacing?
Yeah, row spacing would probably help out a lot because everything's a little crammed together. But what kind of tips do you got for me?
So these come from Julie Woodbury in Ross, North Dakota. She's a master gardener and also has saved seed for years, heritage varieties, the whole 9 yards. So for instance, when you talked about your tomato seeds, what she recommends is when the fruit is ripe and ready to eat, take the seed out and then take that squishy little gelatin and try to squish the seed out of it. And then push your seeds into some water for a couple of days until the rest of that jelly coating comes off. Then let them dry for a week or so, save the seed, and then plant early to get to your tomato plants to pop up. But for your beans, the ones that you liked, just let them continue to dry down in the pod. When the pod's all dried out, your beans should have a hard shell on them, and you can save those for next year as well. Keep them in a place where they won't freeze over the winter, maybe in your garage, in a nice, it doesn't have to be an airtight container. It can breathe, because if you're staying above 40 degrees, you'll be fine. But then you've got seed again for next year.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you save yourself a little bit that way?
I got myself a good bean seed. I got a hybrid between Kentucky Wonders and Blue Lake pole beans.
They're pole beans. Okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I prefer to raise the bush beans, the ones that they're shorter and they stand up on their own better, so I don't have to put in a fence for them to climb.
Yeah.
Just a difference of opinion. Dean, of course, doesn't care as long as we bring him fresh vegetables.
Honestly, you should have heard him.
Your cucumbers?
I'm not going to say whining, but whining for cucumber. No,
These
I'm kidding, Dean. I'm kidding.
I had a hard, these things were thick and fat. Like
These were some big.
These things were thick. Like our plastic cutlery in our break room could barely get through it. You're trying to cut that cucumber up, and it's those things are big. They were good.
Halali.
They were good.
Halali cucumber hybrids.
Yeah.
Oh, they are so
Very
good. Nice
good.
and meaty on them.
Mm-hmm.
Firm.
I like the fact
still talking
that you're
about
planning ahead
vegetables?
for
Yeah.
good cukes. Right, right.
You can't beat fresh vegetables out of the
No, you
garden.
really can't.
Fresh beans. Oh man.
Just go right out there, chop them off, throw them in a pot of boiling water.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is actually just to put them in a container with some butter, and then throw a bunch of sea salt and microwave them, and then just shake them inside of that container. That's my favorite way, I think.
Microwave them.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, transitioning from ag to weather, I actually have a little weather trivia.
Oh, you
for
got
the
some
two of you.
trivia?
Stump the chumps.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, so on July 11th, 1888, and I hope I say this right, the Monongahela River rose how many feet in less than 24 hours that resulted in flash floods? This river is in Pennsylvania, so for those who know I'm not saying it right, I could use some help. Monongahela, I think it is.
I think you're pretty close.
How many feet? Okay.
It was a summer storm. It was
July 11th.
It was a torrential downpour, and the waters were rolling off the hills.
No, it was just a sprinkle.
Yes.
Well, I've left my sprinkler on before. My yard was flooded.
I think it was 32 feet.
27.
32.
One of you paid better attention in meteorology class than the other. It was 32.
Wow, way to beat Dean.
32 feet, less than 24 hours.
That's a lot of water.
Shanties.
Holy moly.
Yes.
I want to know
Yes,
how would that compare to the Big Canyon flood in Colorado? Because that that killed a lot of people, if I'm not mistaken.
It probably did.
And I
That
think
would've
that
been
was
wild.
something similar too, as well. Because they had a heavy thunderstorm in the foothills, and it raced down. I think it was Black Canyon flood. Down below, and nobody knew about it, because it wasn't raining down below. But up in the foothills, it was just a torrential downpour, and everything just came down at once. Wow.
Now, here's another one I'm curious if you've heard of. On August 26th, 1976, the seemingly impossible happened. A tornado touched down where? It was 29 miles north of the Arctic Circle. Any idea what community this was close to?
A tornado
And
north
can that
of the
happen?
Arctic? Well, it did.
Canada or Alaska?
You decide.
I'm gonna go.
I'm going Canada.
Yeah, but you want the town?
Well, if you can narrow it down to Canada or Alaska, I'll let you slide on that one.
Canada.
It was Alaska. Kiana, Alaska, 29 miles north of the Arctic Circle. This was, again, August of 1976.
Yeah,
it was a tornado.
That's definitely.
So, just curious.
That's definitely rare.
Is anybody else that shocked? Because
I'm kind of
that
shocked.
actually happen?
What month was it again?
August.
I mean, it's not.
That would be around their peak heat.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's nuts. That actually reminds me of what ended up playing up earlier this year in March down in South Dakota. We had one of our big old typical springtime storms ripping through, and there was a 90-degree temperature difference over 120 miles between South Dakota and Iowa. Or maybe it was Nebraska. It was Nebraska and Iowa. And over 100 miles, it was a 90-degree temperature difference, and it was 32 degrees, and there was a severe thunderstorm warning. And 32-degree weather.
It's
been a wild year.
I've seen a severe thunderstorm warning and a blizzard watch in the same county before. That
was just this last winter.
Yes.
Or 2 winters ago. It's very recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but yes, it can.
Well, we're going to get caught up with the American Ag Network real quick. When we come back, we still got a couple ag topics. Might have a little more trivia, another check on the forecast, and I'm sure we'll find another reason to throw a screaming goat in here before the end of the day. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus will be right back.
Welcome to Inside the Huddle for a Vikings training camp update. We're updating you on the Vikings all preseason long, bringing you up to week 1 when the Vikings host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These updates are brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo. Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator Wes Phillips was asked by media to give his thoughts on Jordan Addison's miraculous catch against the Seattle Seahawks in preseason game number 1 and talk to his development so far this preseason.
It was a fantastic catch, and as you guys know, it's on us to get those things right up in the box. Head coaches, they get all the questions about it, but we're the ones up there, with the TVs and the Hawkeye view and all that kind of stuff. So just wanted to mention that. But as far as how rare is it for a guy to have that body control, I just think the talent is there and was there in college. It's like JJ coming in and doing what he's done. That body control was already there. It's just giving him some opportunities and learning within our system and kind of how Keenan has coached him and gotten him up to speed, even with missing some of the spring. I think he's done an impressive job learning our system and continuing to grow.
This has been a look inside the huddle of Vikings training camp. These updates are brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo, where you can do more in a jiffy.
Are you tired of woke investment firms trying to push their political agenda onto your money? This is Brian Kronk, financial advisor at Collins & Kronk here in Fargo. If you are through with big East Coast companies and their ESG agenda, call Collins & Kronk for a consultation. See how we build a plan based on what matters to you. Call Collins & Kronk today, 701-235-0119. That's 701-235-0119. At Collins & Kronk, you matter.
Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member, FINRA, SIPC. Collins & Kronk is not a broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Soybeans leading the grain markets higher on Friday. This is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. We're joined now by Arlen Suderman, Chief Commodities Economist at StoneX. Arlen, green on the screen here in grains. Soybeans, the upside leader on that hot, dry weather forecast. Looks like that's given traders reason to put premium back into the soy market today.
It really is. As the Pro Farmer Midwest Crop Tour gets going next week, the central and western parts of the belt are expected to have heat indices of 105 to 115. That's going to be miserable for those people on the tour, but it's not going to be fun for the plants in the field either. And actual temperatures are going to be pushing triple digits, upper 90s and triple digits across much of that region. And what that does is it brings to a halt the benefits that we've seen of a very, very favorable first half of the month of August, where cool temperatures with occasional showers would add to the kernel length on corn, add to the pod set for soybeans, and help with the size of those beans in those pods. We're going to reverse that. Well, not reverse the size of the seed pods, but bring to an end our ability to add to the seed size for corn. Maybe abort some pods for soybeans, and certainly maybe limit the size of the beans in those pods as we go through the next couple of weeks. It certainly isn't the way you want to finish off a crop, so that's providing some support for the soybean and corn market. Wheat, on the other hand, seeing gains for other reasons. We saw a little bit of retaliation effort by Ukraine overnight with sending a drone into Moscow. It was shot down and the remains hit a building. There were unconfirmed reports of fire at an oil depot at the Novo port, where Russia also ships a lot of wheat, but not a lot of news on that. So just escalated headlines, concerns going into the weekend. So some short covering until we see what actually happens through the next few days.
That's Arlen Suderman of StoneX on the American Ag Network.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:53 on this afternoon. It is quite windy. We got another check on the forecast coming up here in just a moment, but figured we'd hit an ag topic here before we dive into a little bit more trivia to check on that forecast and a little something else. Bridgette, let's talk about this, because this kind of sounds like an interesting thing for me, and I like that this is turning into an opportunity. And it's a diesel technician program that's open for college and high school students that are entering into agribusinesses.
Oh, there is a bunch here. So first of all, there is one of the high schools in North Dakota. This would be Dakota Prairie up at Petersburg. Mm-hmm. They had a high school guidance counselor who came from South Dakota. And the program down there, I believe, was called Build Dakota. And it really targeted high school students, giving them scholarships to go to technical colleges in order to come out with their degrees and then have basically debt-free, and then going to work for businesses where they could really boost the local economies. Now, she decided to start that at the high school level where she's at Petersburg. And she did that with a number of agribusinesses. One of them is the local John Deere dealer, Leading Edge. And they now have students who are working part-time, almost like apprenticeships, before they go off to college. And additionally, you have companies like Leading Edge who are now partnering with North Dakota State College of Science in Wahpeton, or with the Lake Area Technical College in Watertown, and they are helping kids get their degrees. Also, there are scholarships available, and that way you are committed to going to work for an employer after you graduate, so that you really are coming out debt-free and ready to roll. Butler Machinery in Fargo does something similar. It's called Butler Max, that focuses on students who want to work on AGCO equipment like Fence, Massey Ferguson's, the Ideal Combine. But additionally, if you want to do diesel technician work, you could go in there under Caterpillar, and we're working on Caterpillar engines and their equipment as well. So a lot of opportunity for students who want to make that change, but also coming out in a trade where they can go right into work and be debt-free and earning money and being a big part of the economy and turning that cash back into the main street of their communities. I think that's awesome.
That's super cool. And I think that that's cool that they're doing that more into, I don't know if I'd call it a trade school. Would you consider that a trade? I think it is. A diesel mechanic.
I think so. Personally speaking, if I were to do it all over again and I would go back to college, I would go to a 2-year school and I'd probably come out an electrician. I think I would find
That's
that
actually
to
what
be,
my brother is doing.
Yeah, that would be the 2-year degree I would like to do. And kids are doing a great job now.
Sure,
they
are,
are,
definitely.
and there's not enough of them to go around.
Not at all.
So that's a fair statement.
Well, what do we say here?
Want to do a little trivia?
Yeah, let's hit another trivia thing. Dean, you said you had one, don't you?
Had a couple, yeah.
Okay.
So, what is the fastest speed a raindrop can fall? What is the fastest speed a raindrop can fall?
Ooh.
I'm going to go with
I know the answer to this.
Okay.
Well, then, what is it?
I can't recall. I think
That's
he was
not
sleeping.
knowing.
I slept a lot in school. It was just so easy. I had to. I think the terminal velocity of a raindrop is 57 miles per hour.
I was going to go with about 50 myself.
25
Am I off?
miles an
25.
Oh, that is a slow raindrop. I can outdo that.
On
No problem.
average, how many times per year is the Empire State Building, out in New York, struck by lightning? How many times is the Empire State Building struck by lightning per year, on average?
A lot. It has to be a lot, because I
What's a
remember
lot?
being there in 2011, and we were in the clouds. That building is tall enough, and there was some low ceiling clouds that day, and we were literally in the clouds. So if I say a lot, I bet it can get hit by lightning. If you said like an average, probably twice a day.
I'm going to go with...
Yeah, but you're not having thunderstorms every day.
37.
Okay, throw me a number, Bridget.
So that if I say twice a day, I'm going to say like 700.
25.
25
times a year.
Did I say 27 or
You said
37?
37.
37.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's more.
Oh, wait.
How fast? So typically, we could see golf ball size hail, up to golf ball size hail here. On average, how fast can golf ball size hail fall? What's the speed?
Golf ball size
hail.
That's about an
Is it
inch
the
and a
speed I'm
half.
telling you? Is it the speed I'm telling you, or the speed I'm telling my insurance agent because I need new shingles?
There you go. the speed you're telling me.
Well, they hurt.
Oh, man. 72.
Are we back to 20 miles an hour?
No, it's anywhere. It's up to 40 miles an hour. Now, if it's baseball size hail, that can fall at the rate of 70 miles. Can you imagine getting hit by a soft chunk of baseball to softball size hail and you're 70 miles an hour or higher?
I've been hit with softballs directly off the bat from about 70 feet, so I can, yes.
Yeah.
Just plop a couple off the chest, one off the thigh.
It's about that same speed,
Yeah,
right off the bat.
I can confirm it hurts really bad.
So
that's going to leave a mark.
Oh, sure.
One more wrap of the forecast here, and then we'll call it a day and call it a weekend?
Yeah, we'll wrap this up here real quick. Let's see
Okay.
what the weather's like.
All right, we are looking at generally sunny skies. It's filtered sunshine due to that Canadian smoke. Thanks, hosers. And that's keeping our temperatures into the mid-80s today. Some spots might get a touch warmer than that. It's windy. That's the big thing. Winds out of the south-southeast up to 40, gusting to 40 miles an hour. Tomorrow, the pick day of the weekend. Winds will be out of the southwest, switching to the northwest in the afternoon. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, and then a good 20 degrees cooler on Sunday. with more clouds and, yes, a few isolated showers here and there, but nothing widespread. I think the morning will be dry on Sunday, but as we head later in the day, that's when our chance, and it's only about a 20-30% chance of rain enters the area, and then we'll dry things out later next week. So we'll warm up later next week, too. It'll be in the 90s next week. I say yes. Justin says no. There's a case of beer and a handle of Bacardi on the line here. And maybe some caramel rolls from lovely Bridgette. So that'll do it for us here at Weather and Ag in Focus. For Justin, myself, and for Bridgette, we want to thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us on Monday at 1 o'clock. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1. WDAY, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo.
Good afternoon.